Love is this enigma that inspires the creation of most poetry, art, music, and life on the planet. Because we all have this innate desire to experience love, to know love from an innermost state of unifying with it. Because love is just that. It's the state of unity consciousness which you can embody, allowing yourself to blossom in your complete essence, to feel fully interconnected with someone or something, or perhaps experience agape, which is the ultimate universal love and connection to all things in existence. However, many of us have a difficult time getting there, because when we mentally perceive the desire for love, we usually want to actually be loved. And just being loved is not the same as experiencing the true state of love. What love actually necessitates is opening up the portal within yourself to fully experience love. The journey to being loved and to giving love freely is about giving yourself the opportunity to fully love yourself. And that means unraveling all the programs set up within you that barricade you from the experience of love. This includes things like judgment, self-criticism, not understanding the wholeness of yourself and wanting to judge or to belittle yourself in some ways in order to not see and accept fully who you are. Authenticity is the number one criteria necessary to unlock your ability to love, because to love authentically, you must be authentic with yourself. And to love yourself fully gives you the ability to connect with those who can love and accept you for your authenticity. Most of the time, we are not taught what love is, which puts love on a pedestal in our minds. What we seek instead of this unifying experience of love is a pleasurable addition to our lives. What we seek as a form of love is really pleasure. It's typically the feeling of gratification that we can get from someone who ends up pleasuring ourselves in some way. Maybe it's emotional pleasure. Maybe it's physical pleasure. Maybe it's just the pleasure that we get from being in a partial union with someone when we allow ourselves to shelter our true essence from that individual. The lack of vulnerability is what allows us to have a somewhat unifying experience without actually tapping into the full source of love. And so many people wonder why they can't manifest love in their life. What stops them from experiencing this ultimate love towards everyone and everything, or potentially just with one partner that they can deeply unify with? The answer to that is your ability to truly go within for yourself. Unless you're willing to remove all of these obstacles within your own soul that prevent you from seeing and accepting the wholeness of you, nobody's going to be able to see that. Your subconscious creates all these different facets of your being that prevent you from fully letting anybody in. And this lack of vulnerability is what prevents us from feeling and from grasping the true depth of love, which can be found in all experiences and in all situations of life. Love doesn't have to be a personal thing. Love is a verb that expresses the action of seeking the togetherness of life, allowing yourself to fully observe and to be as one with this experience. For example, you can go for a walk in the woods and feel like you are quite literally as one with your environment. You can feel like you're in an active state of meditation by looking at the trees and feeling like they're an extension of you, or feeling as one with the air that you inhale, and as one with the sky that you allow yourself to observe and feel as part of. You are as one in this living cosmos. This is a matrix which you are simply an extension of. So instead of observing your separateness, when you can come to see that you are simply an entangled aspect of the living whole, you as an organism can begin to operate in tandem with the rest of the cosmos. This kind of experience of love puts you in the place to admire and be grateful for this experience. You can always find more ways to show appreciation for the entire world at large by learning to love this experience in every moment and in every way. What this also allows you to do is to drop these negative beliefs regarding yourself and other people. By simply loving reality at large, you can start to love your own individual aspect of it. You can start to see life as a gift, and every moment as an ability to get more in tune with this state of love, which is a harmonizing force in existence. This can be very difficult for us to do, though, because when we are not brought up with love, everything seems to be happening against us. Everything seems to be an obstacle from the experience of love simply because we never were opened up as a child to this experience of it. So this is the first thing that we need to address in the quest for love. Those who pursue toxic relationships usually have a convoluted understanding of what love is, in which they seek love from someone in order to fill their own inner void. They seek someone who they think can please them, or perhaps that they can please to achieve something in a very conditional manner. This conditional quest for love is something that many people aren't even conscious of. Because in seeking love, we think that we're seeking our other half. We think that we're seeking someone who we can have a shared experience with and who can love and accept us for just who we are. However, if we were brought up not feeling like we are loved, then we're never going to allow the feeling of being loved truly into our lives. This is about the subconscious programming that infiltrates our entire perspective. If we don't feel like we are loved at our core, we're not even going to approach other people in a way that allows them to love us. In other words, if you don't feel loved and worthy within, nobody's ever going to love you truly for who you are. Or you might manifest people into your life who may show you true love, but you're going to self-sabotage in those situations to push them away simply because you feel a deep sense of unworthiness in relation to their love. You may feel like, where's the catch? There must be a reason why this person is loving me because I don't deserve to be loved. And this may be something playing out in your subconscious mind. You may not know why you sabotage relationships, push people away, or not allow yourself to be very vulnerable with other people from an emotional standpoint, because somewhere deep down you feel like that love comes with conditions. But in truth, you are the one who is setting them up. You're the one who believes, due to preconceived notions of what love is, that there are always conditions involved. And those conditions are what you have to dismantle if you want to understand the nature of unconditional love. Unconditional love is a paradox because everything in life carries conditions. By nature of it, we are beings operating in a conditional landscape in which our mind is constantly placing conditions on everyone and everything, and we search for people and things to add to our experience out of a certain condition. Even if we are trying to manifest a partner into our lives, there is a reason for that. There is something that comes along with the desire to experience love. It could be that you want a partner to make yourself feel more at peace or more excited on a day-to-day basis, or maybe that you want to share something with them. There's always a reason why you're going to approach things and people in the way that you do. Even though there are conditions underlying what we choose and how we choose to interact with the world, there doesn't have to be a conditional setup when it comes to the experience of love. We can love just because we want to show others love. We can love just because we want to be in the state where our heart is open and we're fully embracing our feelings. We can choose to love because we want to be vulnerable with ourselves, and we want to experience this epitome of universal truth which comes through deep feeling. We can choose to love because we want to explore the nature of our consciousness and see what comes of our interaction with reality in this fully integrated way. We can choose to love because we want to explore the epitome of partnership, when we unify with Source, with our partner, when we can explore the different components of Kundalini awakening and fully embodied consciousness through the alchemical union with another. We can choose to love because we want to create family. We want to create belonging and a sense of stability and security with someone who prioritizes these values over any others. We can choose to love because we're ready to have that experience with ourselves, because we choose to approach life more beautifully and more fully. And we want to really experience the bliss of being united with someone and being in that state on our own all the time. These are all genuine reasons to want to love and to want to share your life with someone who you love just as fully. However, many people seek a partnership or a relationship out of a desire to just not be alone. And they mix the desire to not be alone with the desire to love, which ends up manifesting relationships in which that deep alignment doesn't exist, because it's coming from a 3D conditional perspective that you manifested that relationship in the first place. Sometimes when you go through a spiritual awakening, a revolution within your own soul that allows you to see the higher conscious perspective on relationships and life as a whole, you may feel like you're no longer clicking with your partner. You may think that the love went somewhere, or perhaps that it never fully existed because you're now feeling the interconnectedness with your own being. That allows you to see that you perhaps are not so compatible with your partner as you thought you were. You may feel like these 3D attachments no longer serve a purpose in your life, and maybe like it's wrong to depart from them. What's holding you bound to your attachments is your own egoic identity and its grip on everything that you've already manifested. It's not coming from a place of love that you choose to hold on to people and situations and circumstances that no longer serve you. From a place of love, you need to release the ties that don't allow you to be fully embodied in your own truth. To be integrated within your own being is to know the truth of what you desire, who you are, what you wish to be doing, and everything that exemplifies your genuine character, which you can bring into the world when you are surrounded by supporting individuals who mirror your own authenticity. We often spend so much time trying to change people and to stay stuck in our ways while evolving the circumstances around us without ever evolving to allow the circumstances to catch up to us. In other words, we have to create the necessary changes by loving ourselves in order to experience more love in our lives. If we decide that we have evolved out of a relationship, we may need to leave that relationship. We may need to leave certain circumstances, like change a job or change the things that we do on a daily basis in order to be in line with the self-love that we are choosing to embody. Doing so can radically change our lives for the better, but it may seem like that change is happening for the worse because our ego is just still so attached to everything that it has created and that it thinks lines up with its own definition of love. In fact, you may feel like you are not loving yourself by choosing to depart from your old ways. Like it hurts and it's painful to give up the things that are very dear to your heart because you think that you loved yourself into the creation of them. However, that wasn't love in the first place. When you created every obstacle in your life that you're now having to deal with that does not align you with the truth of self-love, you've been trying to escape the reality of a lack of love. You were trying to escape the lack of belonging and lack of fulfillment because you didn't fully understand who you were at the time. And so when you have this awakening to the truth of love, whether it's through your purpose or through the finding of a relationship that truly meets your needs and allows you to feel whole, you can experience the wholeness within your own being, which allows you to create the necessary life changes to stay in alignment with that love. Only when you're fully in that state of love, which is understanding of who you are and experiencing the reciprocal exchange of that oneness with another, you can fully embody your purpose. You can fully feel aligned and in harmony, which allows you to do the work that your soul is here to do and to achieve the understanding that it's here to understand. Love is often mixed with pain because many of us go through difficult circumstances in which we idealize love and then love ends up breaking us. Maybe we end up dealing with the separation from someone who we thought was that ideal match for us. But maybe it's in those circumstances that we actually learn the truth of love. The truth that cannot be broken within our own being. We may have to lose certain people in our lives in order to learn the test of love that exists within our own souls. Will we choose to abandon our ability to love simply because someone else didn't meet our expectations of how we should be loved? Because at the end of the day, love is something that cannot die. It's something that is continually resurrected through our willingness to open our hearts a little bit more and to let in the possibilities of love all around us. We may have to break our standards of what love looks like and the form that it takes in different people and aspects of our lives that are all here to teach us love. In essence, everyone is here to teach us that feeling. People who love you and people who hate you are both teaching you love. People that are with you and people who leave you are all teaching you love. People who you don't understand and people who you do are all teaching you how to love, how to achieve the integrated state of acceptance in any of life's circumstances, which leans on your own acceptance of yourself. If you choose to love, you must choose to become love in all of its forms, not to use love as a distraction or a way to superficially gratify yourself and achieve pleasure in some fleeting shape or form, but to fully understand the definition of unity. And this consciousness that you can step into arouses a new idea of love altogether. It allows you to feel complete even if you don't have a partner to share love with. And if you do, you're going to go deep into the trenches of your own soul to understand those missing components that still exist and can be loved fully. Love is a mysterious force because if we follow it, it will always take us deeper into our experience of life. If we commit to love, we are committing to ourselves and to the exploration of where our consciousness can take us. Love will always unify us. It will always take us towards truth, towards unity, and towards belonging. So if we choose love, we choose to be embodied in our full soul's mission. We choose to be as part of the network of people who are also committing to themselves and to making this world a better place, because you can't go wrong with love. Even if you've had negative experiences of it, there's always a way to transcend them, to understand that there is an unconditional basis which sits in your own heart's awareness of everything that love can truly become for you.